Hi, this is Zubin Vevaina from A to Z Graphology and welcome to today's video. Now I'm going to explain to you about the capital letter V. As you've seen in the letters earlier, sometimes a letter structure can be similar whether it is capital or small. Same is the case with the capital letter V. The capital letter V and the small letter v are similar in structure. The only difference being is that the capital letter always has an upper zone. How does the upper zone affect the way we think quickly? Letter V shows quick thinking or sudden change of thought pattern. Let's take for example, if you're going shopping and you want to buy a grey t-shirt and suddenly you see a very nice white t-shirt and your mind shifts. Your thought pattern of buying a grey t-shirt shifts towards the white one. That sudden shift or that sudden desire for changing thought pattern, changing the direction of the thought, that is capital letter V. If this aspect is done initially as a starting energy where you're trying to do something new, that is where capital letter V can play a very good role. Normally, letter V does not come very often in the English language. How often would you find the letter V in a normal handwriting sample is very less. On top of that, to get a capital letter V in a handwriting sample is even more rare. How can the consistency of a letter's appearance be connected to the structure of the letter? How often can you start an activity that brings about a sudden change in thought pattern? Normally, if you think about movements which involve dealing with climatic change and making things better for the forests, where somebody just wakes up in the morning one day and feels, I need to do something about it. Some huge change in the mind and thought pattern which starts that person's day. They want to do something that changes the world. They want to start something that changes the person's mindset. Enthusiasm and the way you start your day can be seen over here. If you practice capital letter V, maybe it would get you faster change in your life if you just want to get out of something. But be careful. Just as how sharp the capital letter V is, that much how much you become sensitive. This is what we need to be careful about, where the capital letter V can be, of course, sudden change of thought pattern, but also it could mean sensitivity. Now let's go to different forms of capital letter V which we may see in the handwriting. What if a person has a starting stroke? This means that the person had a pre-thought. What is the nature of the pre-thought? I am thinking about the future before I start my letter structure. I am having a future thought pattern before I have a sudden change in direction of thought. This could mean that maybe I want to initiate something after I think about the future. Do you see how this is a starting stroke? The letter V has not started yet. It is still just a line. But once the V is made, it influences the structure. What if the V has a loop after it? What if I have a loop after the capital letter V? This means that after I thought about starting something new which involves sudden change in thought pattern, I got creative or I got a new thought pattern. Normally, loops in the middle zone tend to lead to complications except for the letter small r. But loops in the upper zone don't have much of a side effect or a detrimental effect. It just shows that the person wants to be creative as a thought pattern. They want to have a post thought, a thought at the end after the letter V structure, including creativity and some sort of a extra thinking pattern. It's very difficult to explain this letter structure because it doesn't come up very often. So I would highly request that if you've seen a really weird kind of a letter V, please share it on the email address which I have posted down below, and I could certainly give you another clue about what it means. Sometimes you could have a letter capital V variation like this. What if the capital letter V is written like this, where the first line is short and the next line is longer? Actually, the next line is not longer. This is actually the correct height in which the V should be, because this is the upper zone and this is the middle zone. We don't want to start from the higher part of the middle zone. So what is this stroke trying to tell you? The best way to explain this is to go back to the chakra system and understand that this person suddenly had a desire to start something in terms of thought pattern change from the green chakra. That means an emotion has triggered this person to start something new. Start something new that could change his thought pattern suddenly. Of course, after he went through this, he went back to the thought pattern of the mindset. Now again, if we compare the chakra system and we see that this sharp angle comes at the root chakra, means this is something very core. This is something based on survival. Survival instinct has had a sudden change in thought pattern, and that is represented by letter V. Capital letter V and small letter v both represent that. Now, before I explain something, pause the video and try to get in your mind what is happening here. The V seems to be starting at the correct point, that's at the highest chakra, but as it's ending here, it seems to be coming up to the level of probably blue, the blue chakra. That means that this person's nature of sudden thought process change and sudden change in the way he's thinking relates to something that he wants to communicate. This is the way he wants to express or communicate or let the knowledge come out of what he wants to change suddenly. If it was ending a bit lower, where it was at the green chakra, that means that change again now has a point of view in terms of emotion. So what is the difference between this emotional start and this emotional end? Starting something with emotions and then having a sudden thought pattern change. And the next example is starting something normally and then getting affected in a slightly emotional manner, which ultimately shows that that start must have given you an emotional boost. This is where, if it was ending with at the green chakra. Alright? Before we end this video, I want you to analyze this structure. I want to put a kind of a contest in this video. Can you tell me if you can understand what does this mean? Have you ever seen this before? For most people, this is a very dreaded sign. Oh my god, square root. I don't want to talk about it. But what do you think is this square root sign trying to tell you? When a person writes a square root sign, not as a letter V, just right while solving a mathematics problem, while doing some things in algebra, what is this formation trying to tell us? I don't want to reveal this idea right now, maybe couple of videos down the line I'll post a special video only about the square root sign. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of days, or if the next video is launched, take some time before you watch the next video in regards to the square root sign. I want you to think where it is starting in terms of chakra system, what's going down, what's going up, what's happening to the mind when it's thinking of this formation, what body language is being expressed on the paper every time you draw this. Alright, so this video has a bit of a fun element in terms of the quiz. I would like to see your opinions about this formation. Write it down in the comments below or email it to me and we can have a cool discussion. Thank you for watching this video, and in the next one we are going to see another form of letter V but in the form of W. So I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.